My name is Jim Clary, and I'm very pleased to be your moderator today for Protecting Your Business, a symposium designed to provide small business owners with ideas and techniques to protect your businesses, your families, and your employees. Tonight's program is dedicated to small business owners across the country. All of you, most of you, are business owners yourself, and you know that owning a business can produce some of the greatest highs and the lowest lows in our lives. It can be a thrilling occupation, and it can be a stress-filled ride at the same time. And yet, owning your own business, for those people that are truly entrepreneurial, there is no substitute. But owning your own business and having that business be successful through any of the uncertainties of life requires planning. We'd like to start our program with a very, very special presentation. As you know, on the day you start your business, you really don't know what the future holds. Obviously, you have great anticipation. You have high hopes for the future. You look forward to great success and to all of the wonderful joys that owning your own business and a successful business that can bring. But we never know whether life's going to throw us a curveball and whether we will have moments that require great foresight and great planning. You're about to see a video that shows the story of Kudzu Graphics, a commercial graphic and printing company in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is the story of planning and of survival of a business, and I think you'll find it highly compelling.
Lisa and I first met in college. We just kind of knew, and once we started going out, we really were never apart from that point on. Our perfect weekend for us was, to get in on 5 o'clock, have dinner, and just play as hard as we could until the kids, fell asleep. Lisa and I first bought insurance right after we got married. It was just one of those things that I believed in, and so we just set up a couple of small whole life policies right after we got married as retirement, really, just to make sure that there was going to be something in case something happened, and then to have a little retirement set aside for us already.
Was that able to help not only them as individuals, but the company, and throughout the years, their company grew also.
When we started the business, we knew that we needed to get health insurance, and the Key Man policies set up.
The business bought Key Man policies. There were 4 partners, and they purchased life insurance on each partner.
We were 3 history majors and 1 graphic artist, so Lisa was very much the key player in our business. We were immediate friends, and the last time I saw her, she was outside taking a break, and she started singing the So Long Farewell song.
We went and picked Max up from school. Owen was there at the office with us. And on the way from school to home, we drove into a storm. Max asked, he said, "Where's the storm?" I said, "It's right here." I said, "We're right in it." And Lisa said, "Oh, this is very scary." In that second, it felt like a monster truck had driven up on the back of my car. So I immediately turned to look, and I couldn't see anything behind my seat because the cab of the truck had caved in. And I pushed the sunroof out and looked out from there and turned around and immediately looked to see what had happened to the back of the car. Where they were supposed to be, there was a huge tree. Max and Owen were killed instantly, and Lisa was never knew what happened, but it did take her about a minute or so to actually die. I'll never forget when the fire chaplain had to come over and tell me the news, and it was just, you can't imagine. I mean, it's the worst possible thing you can ever hear. Your entire life is gone.
And I'll never forget the words that came out of Brad's mouth. He was like, "Going, Steve, you won't believe it." They were in the back seat, and there's not a scratch on me. Just horrible, absolutely horrible.
The 8 weeks after is what it really seemed. Those 8 weeks were the longest weeks of my life. From July until about the middle of September, it seemed like about 50 years of my life passed by.
He just was in no shape to come back. And so on a personal level, as hard as it was to lose Lisa, we also lost Brad. Business-wise, it was a hard hit because Lisa had so much depth of knowledge, was so great with her clients.
With Lisa gone, it's definitely affected the company. She was the president of the company, and both of them were key players in making this business run. And without a key man or buy-sell policy, I don't know if their doors would still be open today. There may be 30 people on the streets, looking for jobs if it wasn't for that.
She made everyone around her a better person for having known her. And that's one of the things we as a company individually miss. There's a sparkle there that's not there anymore.
What an unbelievable story. How you would go on after that story is a tribute to planning, to perseverance, to resourcefulness, and to character. That video raises a lot of issues, and that story raises a lot of issues for any business owner. To help us think about these issues, we've assembled a panel of all-star advisors from across the country, and I'd like to introduce you to them now. All of us are business owners like you. We all understand the joys and the stress of owning a business, and so we're going to give you a unique perspective. I'm going to start with, closest to me here, Bob Plyben. Bob is from the Greensboro, North Carolina area, and he is the CEO of Plyben & Associates. He works in the business planning field with small business owners just like yourself. Seated to Bob's right in the center of our panel is Charlie Epstein. Charlie's a principal with Epstein Financial Services, and he's a partner in the Benefit Consulting Group, which is a retirement design and consulting firm developing qualified retirement plans for business owners like yourself. And finally, on my far right is Rayleigh Olson, and she's a principal in the Vita Companies, which is an employee benefits consulting and brokerage firm located in California, specifically in the Bay Area. And I want to start with our panel. With that incredible video, there were so many lessons to be taken from that. First thing we heard of was the value of buying key person life insurance in the business and how important it is. And obviously that raises a lot of questions for the business owners out here. Who do you buy the life insurance on? Do you buy it on just the owner? Do you buy it on the key people? How much life insurance should you buy? Let's talk about some of those issues that we need to be thinking about as we're thinking about key person life insurance. And Charlie, I'd kind of like to start with you and hear your thoughts on this.
Well, I think the story hits all of us, very deeply and very poignantly, and it really highlights the value that one individual can have on any small business, and the impact that that one individual can have if they're not there working in the business. So the answer to the question of what type of insurance, when do you buy it, who do you buy it on, I think every business owner really has to take the time right from the very beginning when they start in business to say to themselves, who are the most important, critical people to making this business happen? Who's the one who has the vision in the business? Who's the one who's going to execute in the business? And so I think it's really important to say there's the owners, but there's also the key people that are in the business that perhaps aren't owners that we should be looking at putting insurance on as well and making sure that they're protected not only for the company, but for their family as well.
Bob, a question that occurs to me, we probably have people out here that may be just starting a business. And so the question occurs to me, when do you think about buying key person life insurance? At what stage of the business owner's life or the business's life do you think about adding that type of coverage?
It's interesting, when you start a business, one of the first things you do is you go out and you buy property and casualty insurance to cover your plant and to cover your equipment. But at the same time, many years ago, a very famous European auto manufacturer was asked, well, what would happen if you lost your plant? He said, well, if I lost my plant and I lost my equipment, if I lost everything but I kept my people, I'd be right back where I am in 3 years. And that points to the fact that the most important thing in all of our businesses is the people, and particularly in a very small business, because you're totally at the mercy of one person's talent and skills and relationships. So one of the very first things you should do is ensure that most valuable asset, your key people. And it can be done on a very inexpensive basis, probably for as little or less than what you're actually paying for your property and casualty coverages.
One last follow-up question I'd like to ask. We've seen the value of key person life insurance on Lisa's life. Obviously, her death created a financial problem for the business. But key person life insurance can also be valuable before someone dies. There's living benefits from the cash value of the life insurance as well that can be highly beneficial. Could you just briefly touch on that a little bit?
Sure. as Jim said, there's secondary values in a life insurance policy, cash values, accumulation equity that builds up that can be used for retirement planning for that key person. When you have a very key person to your business, not only do you not want to lose them because they die, but you don't want to lose them because they're going to go to work somewhere else. And by using those cash values as a secondary benefit, you can help retain those people for the future.